Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Patrick in the door first again. Hey, Gary. Hope you're doing great. Good morning, Josh. Grand Rising, Christoph. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And there are people who are not typing in the chat. I can see that you are viewing. So thank you for tuning in. Oh, we just got the house price index out. Hey, Mike, hit the like. I agree, Chris. Thank you for bringing that up. And with that, let me just get this out of the way. Please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like the mic button. All right. That is out of the way. House price index, 0.1% rise month over month. So there we go. Year over year, a little decline, 10.4 versus forecast at 10.8. We got consumer confidence on deck in roughly 55 minutes. That's about the major thing that could move the markets a bit today, although we could be in a more muted day. So far, inside days from yesterday. Remember, we have lots of key things coming out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in terms of data, and we got Powell speak tomorrow. So I will be paying close attention, though, at 9 Central Time. Consumer confidence, especially if it's a bigger beat or miss compared to the forecast of 100. Personally, I'm going to be looking at the Dallas Fed Services Index to see how much it is still in contraction. So that will be interesting from my perspective. Stock market map today, more green than red. Little up of oil and energy stocks bouncing today after getting hit yesterday. So Amazon still holding up with shopping related things, but not much going on major. We have pretty much everything across the board is green today. Energy, consumer, cyclical, and basic materials leading the charge. So far, not a huge charge, but leading it. 67% for the 50 basis point, 32% for the 75. Going to be interesting to see if this tips back to 50-50. Fear and greed still barely holding on to greed. In terms of your gamma exposure, we are in negative gamma territory right now. The gamma flip area is back at 40.27, and we have a huge gamma wall at 4,000, so pay attention to that. 4,000, either side of it is very, very key right now. If we do break down, even 3,900, 3,950, there's minor, and 3,900, and then it tails off drastically. Remember, though, when we are in negative gamma territory, even that quick rally back to the gamma flip area, 40.27, you can get some increased volatility and a quick little rush potentially up there. So, in terms of earnings, not much going on. After the close, we got CloudStrike, Intuit, Workday, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, and NetApp. Nothing that's going to shake the markets, but if you're in any of those, know that they are coming out after the close and adjust stops and or targets appropriately. With that, let's see where we stand. Let's see. So we are still with the overnight price action very, very quiet. Higher low than yesterday, of way lower high, because we had that pretty decent sell-off. So when we have an inside day going into the opening price range, I am paying attention to yesterday's low. What else am I watching for? So far, we have a little mini double bottom on a close, a 1 hour close above 39.90.25. 4,002, 4,008. I am really focused on this 4,008 level because we got a pretty substantial resistance level up there. right up here. You see that was support back from Wednesday before Thanksgiving, turning into resistance yesterday. And so that is a key target area for me to focus should we rally. All right, so that's really what I'm watching. If we start breaking below the 7 a.m. Central Time low at 39.66, I'm watching for yesterday's low set in the afternoon. This is where I will focus on the lows, 39.60. Below 39.60, we got a key support coming in about 39.46 to 39.51. And you start breaking down too much into that area, there is no potential double. So I think we got some pretty good areas to focus on going into the open. Good morning, George. Good morning, Dave. Morning dew to all of you. So that's where it sits, just in the bigger macro to touch back in. Daily cycles rolling over. The major support area is 39.35. Bottom of the rotation zone just in front of the breakout area, and then 39.12 are the two key levels. So the only little continuing bullish pattern could take us back up to, you know, this just above the 4K, but it's not even targeting a return to the most recent highs. NASDAQ inside bar. NASDAQ, if you're looking for the double, there's a couple problems. A, not come down to that 75 mark yet. B, with this big reversal dip, even if it did come down, would not be a key one I'd be looking to trade. The area I would be looking to focus on will be more so right around this 11,757 area. We had some emotional volatility last Wednesday. A little ramp up, coming back down. You see it basing at that level, little takeoff launch, retest, and then the takeoff launch again. Then we had, even with this gap fill, you see the key close and the rapid move away. So that is a minor significant level, 11,757. So if we do break roughly above about 11,700, that's my next key target area. My minor target area is about 11,710, but the major target area is 11,757. Support, I'm watching again. Yesterday is afternoon's lows. 11,575, and then below that, we are all the way down back to 11,546 area. So those are the key levels in terms of the daily cycle still rolling over. We are holding this key support level, but if it does break the next major would be back to about 11,382 to 11,400. Hey, Sterling. Well, it's okay if you're absent. I was swamped at work and probably will be again. The consumers are rushing to buy high-priced financial items like cars because of the forecast interest rate increase is very interesting. Thank you for sharing that information. Sashi, good morning. All right, let's go into the spiders and the Qs. Spiders, yes, you still have the double top. It's a long way off from triggering. Yesterday's close was 395.91, pre-market 396.57. So we're up. I will be focusing then on any down move on yesterday's close, 395.91. If we break below there, 394.35. And then I'm edging up a little, about 391.23 as next key support for a closing basis. To the upside, I will be focusing on yesterday's open of 399.09 if we rally. But that's a fair distance off. So in front of that, 397.75 is key for me. to the Qs. To the Qs. 283.50 with yesterday's close being 282.71. So any downward pressure, I'm focused on that 282.71. And then yesterday's low coming in at 281.76. Then we have a major support level at 280.37. So lots of key support to the downside. Cannot get overly bearish in the Qs unless we start breaking below this 280.50 mark. Then we're into a clear path move. To the upside, what to watch for to the upside, I will target about 284.32 and then 284.88 and then 285.26 to the upside. Again, we could have, don't get chopped up unless we get some key momentum. Don't get chopped up necessarily today. After 9 a.m., we could get into one of those choppier, non-directional days with a short-term bias up or down. The Dow trading against key support. The Dow not in the inside day, but I'm watching 33,770. If we break below there, the next major support is 33,569. The key resistance on the Dow, yes, it does have a little mini double bottom, which is completely valid. So you get a 1 or 4 hour close above 33,993, 34,087, 34,134, which is a key level I would be focusing on with that pattern because you have a breakdown level right there. Support, support, kaput. Then 34,181. So that is your complete valid pattern. Also remember that Dow's got a lot of support base in here. So any sell-off, there are multiple support stopping points. Cannot get overly bearish until we start getting below about 33.5. Russell. The Russell. No valid double just yet. If we do pull back in the open, that's what I will be focusing on because we're going into a single candle clear path right there. The key support level, though, at this point, I'm coming to about 1822, then 1812. So the upside, I need that little double to either form, or I will be focusing back to 1856 if the double does not form. DAX holding the support level into the rotation zone. Not much. There's lots of support in here. So if it does pull back going into the European close, about 14,377, but I'm watching for a lower volatility session in here, and there's lots of support coming in here where it based back in mid-November before this last little run-up. So until we really start getting below about 14,200, can't get into a more bearish stance. The notes, still potential double top, needs that close below 112.04. Other than that, just a pullback, minor support. I'll be keying off the 50 and this little prior resistance ledge becoming support right in here for short term, about 112.18 to 112.17. Let's jump to the VIX real quick. With the VIX, let's see where we sit. Where is my VIX data? Is it right there? We go. There we go. We'll just, the key support, 2190. We break below 2190. I'll probably get in a choppy bullish mode. Choppy bearish mode above 2230. So those are the key things I'm watching with the VIX. Again, pretty flat with yesterday's price action. Crude rotation back up. This, I said yesterday, going to be watching the close, but it's pretty much blown already because a break above yesterday's high could have signaled, especially with the closing, a return to the rotation zone and already hit the rotation zone, but going to be interesting to see where it closes in relation to yesterday's high. The next target on any rally is 81.15, but this could be just be a short-term bottom to get out of some oversold conditions and get cycles back to the top. Yes, the bigger, the better play on a close above 82.36 on a daily basis is still in play. Key support coming back at about 76 right now. Dollar index, double still in play, but a long way off from that triggering. Key level I'm watching is 106.60 going into today's close. That's about it. And then if we do continue to rally, 107.60 is key for me. Let's get this. Then I'll peek in at some stocks. The euro, still you have the potential double top in place, long way off from triggering, but I am watching to see if we close below the 62.5, coming in at about 103.17. If we close below there, then I'm watching for the return to the low prices and the potential trigger of the double. The pound tried to little rally on, sitting against some pretty key support, but if we break below this 119.60, gonna watch for a pullback to about 119.20 area for some minor support. Bitcoin, still nothing going on there, not much to talk about. Tesla, little gap up, so rollover play would be to the close, not looking for any major downside unless we break below 179, the low from yesterday. Other than that, on a run up, we'll focus on yesterday's high 188.50 and then key 191.60. Remember, beyond that, there is still a partial gap fill left up here to 194.42. Apple, these are the harmonics I'm using. The key close that I will be watching for it now broke support, looking like a slight gap up today. There is still a little rally gap, but I'm watching for the next rollover play in this. The key level I will be watching for on a closing basis is 141.58. If we do get into choppy bullish, targets I will be utilizing 146.40 area, and then it would be for the potential gap fill back to 148.11. Let's see. I don't know where you have your 62.5, 141 on the way. I'm still using this, the harmonics from the key lows back at Friday the 4th to the highs on Tuesday the 15th. I do not have any quick thoughts on volume spread analysis, Dave. What else? You still have other stuff to keep an eye on, even though it doesn't look like it's going to trigger necessarily today unless we get some substantial down move. I am watching for the Microsoft double top to potentially trigger over the next couple days. We have the NVIDIA double top. I should call them potential double tops because they're not even verified yet. Remember, to verify double tops, you need a trade below the base. To trigger them, you need a close. You can always try to trade them on a break, but that's for advanced people only. AMD has a double top. So there's some key topping patterns, but again, those do not have to trigger necessarily. But those are what I'm keeping an eye on, because if we get a bunch of those trigger, especially in these key stocks, we could see downward pressure and the bigger rollover play. Baidu is trading up against this key resistance level. Looks like it wants to pop higher, but it's still in consolidation. If it does pop higher, your key area to focus on is 120. That is the major breakdown play with the return to the weekly rotation zone. So that's your target if you're trying to play a pop in Baidu. And it's really, I will be watching. This was on my radar screen also. I'm going to be watching this key area. about just over this break. We had prior support tested with resistance, and it's based right below that, and you have the 50-day exponential. That is the first key area I'll be watching for the breakout, with cycles at the bottom for Baidu. Then you do have a key gap play in here right by another breakdown zone. So this is a minor level that I would not ignore. 115.16 area. We'll give you exactly what that closed. 115.05. Do not ignore 115.05. Let's lower that a bit. And a stop raise level on a breakout play, I'd be utilizing 107. Little resistance shelf right there. So that's for, this is a little counter trend play, not a long-term bottom. So don't mix that up, especially with the weekly rotation zone still right overhead. So that's where that sits. So that's where that sits. All right. Peeking back at the S&P. Not much going into the open, so just keeping an eye. Still no invalidation of that double. One of the things that has suppressed the price of coin has been the competition as their competitors continue to file for bankruptcy, assuming they will survive. Where would be fair value for coin? I think they will eventually go under also. I would not be trying to chase a bottom. When we get another substantial rollover play in the markets, it's going to also increase the pressure on cryptos again. And yeah, you are eliminating competition, but coin doesn't have a really profitable business model. So where's my price on coin? A lot closer to zero. You will see plays. I mean, there's no great. Is there a little potential double bottom play? The risk is it's now with the crypto verse and everything, it's story stock. Did it come back? Nope. Nope. No potential double just yet. So would I be trying? I mean, this would be gambling money. Look, it wasn't profitable before the blow-ups in crypto. Yeah, you have less competition, but there's underlying key. There's underlying key boat anchor to this. Will it get potentially people rushing in to try to grab a bottom? Yes. Would I be doing it? I wouldn't be doing it with anybody else's money because this can easily fall much farther, if not bankruptcy. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hope everyone has a trading day. If it does go into choppier mode because the data is back weighted this week, do not get chopped up because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the key data releases and Powell speaking tomorrow. I shall talk to everyone later. Have a fantastic trading day. Bye for now.